Hello, business analytics superstars, and welcome to Chapter 17, Factor Analysis. Ever wondered what drives someone's sense of style, the level of extroversion, or their knack for finding bargains? These aren't just casual observations. They represent underlying factors or constructs. The trick is, these factors aren't tangible or directly observable. They're rather abstract and a little bit fuzzy. But while you can't measure style with a ruler, you can observe variables that reflect it, like brand preferences or spending patterns. Factor analysis is like a detective's toolkit for uncovering these hidden or latent factors. It helps us quantify what's behind the scenes and manage the complexity of big data by reducing the number of variables we need to consider. So think of it as decluttering your data set to get to the core elements that really matter. In a world awash with data, it's easy to get overwhelmed. Factor analysis simplifies things by summarizing and reducing dimensions of the data. Instead of grappling with hundreds of variables, you can identify a few key factors that capture the essence of your data. For instance, instead of tracking every single purchase a customer makes, factor analysis can distill this into broader categories like brand loyalty or price sensitivity. Factor analysis is a form of data reduction, i.e., we can reduce the number of variables by identifying underlying factors. Hence, this is a form of summarization of the data, making it easier to interpret and use in further analysis. So to undertake factor analysis, we start by examining how strongly variables correlate with each other. High correlations suggest that variables might indeed be measuring the same underlying factor, a positive sign for proceeding with a full factor analysis. A key challenge is deciding, though, on the number of factors. Now, the chapter outlines methods to help us determine how many factors to extract. It's a bit like choosing how many pieces you need to complete a puzzle. We also consider factor rotation. This simplifies and clarifies the factors by making them more interpretable. Rotation adjusts the axes to make the factors easier to understand. We consider techniques which help in interpreting factors depending on whether you assume the factors are correlated or not. Once factors are extracted, we then compute factor scores to represent how each individual or case scores on the identified factors. These scores can then be used for further analysis or to create profiles, such as customer personas. We finally perform a residual analysis to assess how well the factor model represents the data by analyzing residuals, which are the differences between observed and reproduced correlation coefficients. If residuals are small, the model is doing a good job. However, large residuals might suggest the model needs tweaking. So let's consider factor analysis in practice. Consider a market research scenario where you want to understand customer attitudes towards fashion. You might collect data on various variables like purchase frequency, brand preferences, and spending levels. Factor analysis can then help you translate these variables into underlying factors such as fashion consciousness or price sensitivity. Computationally, we use SPSS to crunch the numbers. Now, rather than focus too much on technicalities, we prioritize the interpretation of SPSS output, as this is sort of more useful for subsequent business decision making. So factor analysis helps cut through the noise, providing clarity in a sea of data. Whether you're simplifying customer data for targeted marketing or understanding complex survey results, factor analysis is your go-to tool for uncovering the underlying patterns that drive behavior. So with this chapter, you'll not only navigate the complexities of data with greater ease, but also turn abstract concepts into actionable insights. So roll up your sleeves and get ready to dive into the intriguing world of factor analysis. So superstars, are you ready? Your enthusiasm factor suggests that yes, you are.